So we'll start practice by coming into a seated position and doing a really great breathing exercise, which is called Nadi Shodhana. Nadis refer to energy channels, and the ancient yogis mapped out 72,000. So we're only interested in 3 of them. So there's your left channel, which traditionally was called the moon channel, or the more yin-like channel, and then the right channel, which is the solar channel. And it's said that every 90 minutes or so, might be closer to an hour, it's variable, the more open channel will naturally switch. And this is reflected by one nostril being more open than the other. So if you just close your eyes and take a few slow breaths through your nose, you might have one nostril more open than the other. If you have a deviated septum, this would not apply to you. So just notice what there is to notice. It can also be hard to gauge if you have a little bit of a sniffle, which is common around allergy season. Anyone find the left channel more open? Anyone find the right channel more open? Anyone finding things are smoothly balanced through both? Okay. Well, in yoga, the idea is that the left channel is associated more with sort of feminine yin energy of being more receptive to multiple viewpoints. So it's a good channel to open up before meditation. Whereas the right channel, traditionally the masculine channel, as they would call it, is more sure of its own perspective, which isn't so great, right? Because there's so many different perspectives in the universe, and we want to be open to all of them. And so through the practice of Nadi Shodhana, we try to balance out the channels so that the energy flows up what's called the central channel, or Sushumna Nadi in traditional yoga. And older texts equate the Sushumna Nadi being more open with the way you feel when you're really present, or really in the moment, or really absorbed in whatever it is you're doing. And all of yoga practice is really designed to awaken this channel, so we're just more present in our lives and a little bit nicer and happier. And so sometimes this technique can really help. We'll take our right hand and then plug the index finger and the middle finger into your palm. Okay. So that the little finger can prop up the ring finger beside it. And then we'll take the thumb and we'll use it to gently pull down the skin around the right nostril so it's fully closed. And those 2 fingers that are sticking out, little and ring, you're going to place that over your left nostril so it's just barely open. And then take a slow breath in through the left nostril, throat relaxed. Try to make the breath as long and slow as possible. So let's say that's about 5 seconds. And then full of air, we'll close the left, open the right nostril part way, exhale through the right side to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abs engaging. Right side, inhale. 5, 4, 3, it's just barely open. 2, fill up all the way to the heart. 1, hold your breath, and then switching sides, left side, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push it to empty. Left side, inhale, softening upper belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fill up to the heart, switching sides, and right side, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Use your core to empty fully. Right side, inhale. 5, 4, keep lifting the heart. 3, soften the belly a bit. 2, and 1. Hold your breath full of air. And then switching, long exhale through the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another full cycle. Inhale through the left. Low belly draws in. Pelvic floor lifts up. That's the floor of the core. Count your own breath slowly, quietly. Closing the eyes, focusing in. Switch sides for the exhales. And then when you finish your next exhale, take a breath in through both nostrils barely open. Slow the breath as much as possible. Fill up from the belly all the way to the heart. Once you're full, hold your breath up to 10 seconds. Lock the throat by swallowing saliva and pressing the tongue behind top teeth. Once you have the lock, you can bring your hand down. That makes it impossible to breathe. And then long exhalation through the nose, resting the hands over the knees or lap. Closing the eyes. Notice the flow of the breath again. Notice the flow through the nostrils. And notice if anything shifted for you in any way at all. And then imagine breathing up the spine. So we stay connected to the pelvic floor, creating an upward lift. Meanwhile, the low belly sucks in a little bit just below the navel. It's very gentle. And so traditional imagery can involve a candle flame being lifted up through the center of the pelvic floor on each inhale. And we can also imagine a bright energy being drawn up through the central axis of the spine on each inhale. So that internal breath, the prana, has this upward movement on the in-breath. And then the exhale is an energy that flows down, contracts, and collects itself in the floor of the core again. And this can be a little tricky to sense sometimes from just breathing alone. That's why we have a physical movement practice where we put ourselves in all these different shapes that really amplify these patterns. And that leaves a residue in our nervous system, which we can use for meditation. Very deep, very powerful. It's been around for at least 600 years. So let's open the eyes now. You can take an exhale to round your spine. This is part of the exhaling, contracting pattern. Look at your navel. And then as you inhale, slowly roll up through the spine. Keep the tail heavy, rooting down through the sitting bones. And then lift your chin. Exhale, round the back, shoulders forward, spreading wide through the shoulder blades. Inhaling, roll up through the vertebra. Keep the tail heavy, low belly drawing in. And continue at your own pace. Feel your way through these movements. So now we're using the breath and using the movement together to really amplify the qualities of the inhale and the rounding qualities of the exhale related to the Apana pattern, the contraction. Old Hatha Yoga texts just talk about blending these energies together in different postures. Everything from headstands to sing around with your legs behind your head. All of which we'll do today. Just kidding. Kidding about leg behind the head. We will do headstand though. Some adaptation of it. And so as you round your back and look at your navel, notice the lower back relaxing. Start your inhale from that position and imagine you could breathe into your low back. And as you continue lengthening up, try to draw that same breath up into the heart region. So proud posture. And from a modern standpoint, we're getting a little bit of movement at every vertebra instead of too much movement at any one spot. I like to call it the spinal wave. It's also called spinal segmentation. Waves is obviously a way better name for it, so let's stick with that. You can imagine your whole body is also made of ocean waves, so we're getting this really fluid movement. Now let's take our hands forward, table position, working with those same waves. Fingers spreading wide. You could have your index finger knuckle forward. And then try scrubbing the hands out a little bit. So with screwing the arms out like this, you're really connecting to the external rotators of your shoulder. As you exhale, drop your tail, sit back towards your heels. As you inhale, slowly come forward, shoulders over the wrists, and then lift the chin. Exhale, drop the tail, sit back, and slowly drop the chin in. Inhale, roll forward like a wave, and then lift the chin. And continue. Feel free to take the knees further back as an experiment. There's no one place to be. You can do the wave anywhere. Once you take the knees further back, you can also play with lowering to the floor on your inhale breath. So we inhale to come forward, strong core, lower the hips. Lift the chin, and then exhale, look to your navel, moving from the core and sitting back. Breathing into your low back, roll forward, and then slowly lower your hips. Lift the chin at the end. And exhale from the core, look towards your belly button. And continue experimenting. You don't have to coordinate it exactly like I did. You can play around with it. Feel your way through these movements. And notice how this is really similar to going between a plank and an upward dog. So if you do want to push it, you can go into high plank, up dog, and then exhale from the core, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank on the in-breath, and then up dog. Chin is the last thing to come up. Exhale, use the Apana pattern of the core, curling in. Rolling forward on the inhale. If you did last week's class, we were doing this with sound effects. Whoa. So the exhale takes you forward all the way, and then lift the chin when it's time to breathe in. You can also breathe like waves. And again, once more. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Bend your knees and bring your hands closer and closer to your feet until you're in ragdoll. Hold on to opposite elbows. Relax your spine. Bend your knees. Let your torso hang loose. Let your lower back lengthen. Breathe deep. Letting go of the elbows, let the arms hang loose, let the chin tuck in. Take a full exhale, heavy heels, drop the tail, and with strong buttocks start to roll up through your vertebra, slowly coming up to standing. It's like a reverse wave. And we'll all meet in standing. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees. Imagine hugging a tree, spreading the shoulder blades. Drop the chin. And as you inhale, slowly roll up through the spine. Slowly straighten the legs, and then open the arms. Exhale, give a friend a hug. Bend your knees. Drop the tail. And then inhale, slowly straighten the legs, rolling up through the vertebra. Lift the chin at the end point. And exhale, rounding forward. Gazing down the nose to navel. A few more at your own pace. Breathe into your low back. Draw that breath up into the heart. What a day to hug a tree. Good. And then we'll all meet up nice and slow and standing. You can make your way to the front of the mat. And with strong legs, mountain pose samastitihi. So the legs are grounded firmly, toes are spreading and rooting. And then connect in with your core. Exhale. Maintain that energy. As you inhale, spread the arms. As the arms lift, look up to your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. Hands come down, look to belly button. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, roll up halfway, lift your chin. Bow again, exhale, head towards knees. Lifting the heart, inhale, spread the arms like wings. Look thumbs. Mountain pose, exhale, arms at sides. Focusing on the breath, inhale with sound. Exhale, folding. Inhale, roll up halfway, breathe with sound. Constrict your throat a bit. Fold again, exhale, bowing the head in. Inhale, spread the arms and rise up. Back of the legs are strong, helping to drop the tail as we rise. And exhale, mountain pose. Full sun salute. It's right there, how appropriate. Inhale, lift the arms, look at the thumbs. As you exhale, fold over, follow your nose towards your belly button, bow in. Slow inhale to lift the head, step back to plank. Exhale to bend the elbows, lower your knees down. Tuck your chin to up dog, inhale, pull through. Go ahead and lift the chin at the end. Exhale from the core, downward facing dog. And breathe. Reach out, press out through the heel of the palm and make the arms as long as possible. You can play with a little spinal wave as well. So as we inhale, we can focus on pushing the hips back. On the exhale, you can round forward to a plank pose, engaging the core to draw the front ribs in. Inhale, downward dog, hips press back. Exhale, tuck the chin, draw the front ribs in, strong in the core of the body. A few more to go. Play around with it. Yeah, let's all meet in downward facing dog. And take a full breath there. As you exhale, bend your knees, look thumbs. Inhale, jump or step. Land the feet to look up. Exhale, fold in. Spreading arms, inhale to rise up. And exhale, arms at sides, mountain pose. And take a resting breath in. Resting breath out, really connecting with that downward flow of the energy, drawing the ribs in. Inhale, lifts the arms. Lift the shoulders and look up. Exhale, lead with the chin folding. Follow your nose all the way into the belly button. Inhale, lift the head again. Push through your hands. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga. You can lower the knees and hips. Tuck the chin to up dog. Inhale. Exhale, look navel, moving from the core.
And then we'll settle into down dog. Try to find stillness this time. Many different dogs. You could treat it as a back bend, pushing out through the palms, sending the heart to the feet. Or you can treat it as more of a forward bend, using your exhale to draw the ribs in. It's quite challenging, which will help the breath flow into the lower back more. So for those of you working with the back bend, try to connect to the lower back breathing first, and then open the heart towards the feet. It's a very subtle blend of those two energies, the energy of the prana and the apana, just like in the seated breathing exercises. Drawing the breath from the low back up to the heart. One more breath in. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, jumper step. Inhale to look up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, gaze thumbs. Exhale, arms at sides, mountain pose. Hands to heart center, take a breath in. Exhale, reach forwards, bend your knees. Inhale, lift the arms to chair pose, Utkatasana. And breathe. Chin behind arms, look towards your thumbs. And the trick is lifting the shoulders up to the sky so that they can actually catch the back of the skull and support it. Jaw relaxed. Heels heavy. On your next exhale, take hands to the floor past your feet. Look to belly button. Lifting the head, inhale, push through your hands. Low plank, exhale. Tuck the chin, inhale, up dog. Exhale from the core, downward dog. Take a breath in to lift your heels. As you exhale, step right foot forward, back foot flat. Look to your belly button with an angry cat spine. Inhale, roll up through the vertebra. And then lift the arms. Take a few breaths. Gazing up to thumbs again, chin behind arms. If that's too much, you could try going shoulder width, or you can bring the arms forward where it's easier to see. Remember, shoulders up to support the head. And exhale, take the hands down. High plank, inhale. Low plank, chaturanga, exhale. Tuck the chin for up dog, inhale. And then lift. Exhale, curl into down dog. Take a breath in, lift your heels. Exhale, left foot forward, back foot flat, round your spine, look navel. Strong buttocks and hamstrings, roll up through the inhale, vertebra by vertebra. And then we'll meet again in Warrior One for a few breaths. Chin behind arms. That's going to help with that little bit of constriction in the throat. Slow your breath. Gaze up towards thumbs. Shoulders up, shoulder blades up. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga, chin could lift. And then we tuck the chin for up dog. Inhale, just like putting on a hoodie. Down dog, exhale. And breathe. Take about 3 more breaths, any flows you like. If you want to walk your dog or do some waves, feel free. Stillness is also a wonderful way to experience these postures. When we're more outwardly still, it gets a little easier to feel the subtle energies. So one more breath in down dog. On a long exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Inhale, step or jump. And then look up. Exhale, fold, bowing in. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift the arms, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, standing tall in mountain Samastitihi. And take a resting breath in. Hands together. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, lift the arms, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, hands down, bend your knees. Inhale, lift the head, crow pose, or step to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale from the core, down dog. Take a breath in, lift your heels. Exhale, right foot forward, back foot flat. Look to your navel. Press the feet towards each other and roll up through the vertebra. Inhaling slow. Warrior one. Take a few breaths. Hands to heart center on the exhale. Follow your thumbs. Inhale, warrior two, gazing over your right fingers. You're welcome to take a longer stance. Exhale, bend the right knee. With an inhale, straighten the legs and reach up. Exhale, warrior two, bending the knee, gazing over the hand. Repeat a few more times, lifting the ribs on the inhale. Suck in below the navel. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stay strong in the back of the legs. Exhale, warrior two. Last one. Inhale, straight legs. Walk your left foot in a little closer. Exhale, Trikonasana, legs stay straight. You can take your right hand down to your shin, ankle, or hook the big toe. Gaze to either thumb. Try looking at the top hand. If that's uncomfortable, consider gazing down instead. Squeeze the feet towards each other. Then exhale to look down, bend your right knee. Inhale, short warrior two stance, walk your left foot in closer. Kung Fu warrior. So as you exhale, lift your left heel, press forward, lunging on back toes, hovering the knee. Again, inhale, prepare. Exhale, pressing forward, pubic bone lifts. Again, inhale, prepare. Exhale, press forward and help your left arm outside of your leg, hands to prayer, turning the right chest open. It's also the option to take the left hand down on either side of the foot, reaching forwards through the top arm. Breathe in the posture. Stay connected to the abs, lifting pubic bone, softening the low back. Tensioning the core. Exhale, look down, take your hands to the floor. Drop your left knee, slide it back a little, and then walk that right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Lower the shin down, and you have options. You can go onto the outside of your right thigh with both knees bent about 90. If you have the flexibility in your right hip, you can try to straighten the left leg and bring the left side of the pelvis towards the floor. With an inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, fold like a wave over your leg. And then tuck the chin, rolling up through the other vertebra. Inhale. Head is the last thing to come up. Exhale, fold over. A few more of these vinyasas. So notice it's the same wavy movement that we did in sitting as well as in down dog. And then exhale, folding over, pause at a sweet spot. And breathe. If you'd like to add to the hip opening, you can press your left chest towards your right knee, twisting the torso to the right a little bit, just like prayer twist. And then inhale to roll up through your spine. Strong in the core, push into your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Either walk it out or move through a vinyasa. Inhaling to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Try to stay with the waves. Exhale, curl in, downward dog. And then bring the feet together in down dog. Lift the right leg on an inhale. Make big circles with the right hip, squeezing heel to buttock. Let the pelvis follow your knee out to the sky and up. And then press that right knee to the sky, keeping it bent. Try going on to the tips of your right fingers. Pause there. Option 2, wild thing, landing the ball the right foot. Open up. 3 more breaths. Back to down dog, lift the leg. Exhale, knee to the left arm, fall in triangle. You can straighten that right leg off to the side, left arm up, stacking the shoulders. Great place to stay. If you like an extra challenge, try lifting the right leg without changing anything else. Working the inner thigh muscles. That really helps with awakening the pelvic floor as well. The floor of the core. Inhale, lift the leg in down dog. Exhale, lower the foot down. And taking the feet hip width, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, left foot forward, back foot flat. Inhale, roll up through the vertebra. Warrior 1. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, open up, warrior 2. Gazing over your left fingers. Exhale, option to widen the stance, bend the knee more. Inhale, straight legs, lift the arms, lift the ribs. Exhale, warrior 2, gazing over the left hand. Again, inhale, rise up, scoop in the low belly, squeeze the feet towards each other. Exhale, warrior 2. One more vinyasa. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior 2. And then prepare for triangle. You may want to step in closer. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, left hand down to the shin, ankle, or big toe, top arm up. There's also the Iyengar style one where you touch a block outside of your leg or use your fingertips. And breathe. Strong in the quadriceps. Squeeze the feet towards each other. If you have a really grippy mat, you can also try tearing the mat apart with your feet on one breath. That awakens certain actions in your legs. And then try squeezing the feet towards each other again. Maintaining both those engagements. Next exhale, bend your left knee, look down. Inhale up to warrior 2 stance, shorten the warrior. Exhale, kung fu warrior, lift your right heel, press forward from the forearm. And again, inhale, prepare. Exhale, we're letting the pelvis follow the spine, pressing the right hip forward. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, core of the body draws in, just like hugging a tree. Need a strong core to hug a tree, right? Inhale. And then exhale, twisting. Keep on going. Take the right arm across, hands to prayer, or touch down on either side of the foot. And breathe. 5 slow breaths. And keep drawing the front ribs in, tensioning your core, dropping the tail, softening the low back. Exhale to look down, lower your hands, drop the right knee, slide it back, left foot over towards the right fingers. And then you can lower the left shin to the floor. And then go onto the outside of the thigh. Both knees could be bent 90. If you're a bit looser, you can go ahead and straighten that right leg again, allowing the pelvis to turn more towards the floor so that the front of the right hip comes closer to the ground. Spinal waves. Inhale, lift the heart, pull back with your fingertips. Exhale, bend the arms, folding over. Tucking the chin. Inhale to press up, pull back. And exhale. A few more to go at your own pace. Feel your way through these movements. Any moment of the wave is a great posture, so you could be pausing with your heart up, or you could be folding. Even rounding forward is fine, but try to maintain that feeling of lengthening up through the crown, even if you're rounding forward. And then pause at a sweet spot and breathe. To get even more into the left hip, you can try pressing your right chest towards your left knee.
Notice your whole pelvis can move with you. The right hip bone goes closer to the floor, the right side of the pelvis. The left buttock can draw back a bit. It's just like putting your leg behind the head without going there. 3. A few more deep breaths. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, take the hands down, bend your arms, and then press up, downward facing dog. Use your core, lift that left leg, press back. Bring your feet together. Inhale to lift the left leg, heel to buttock, bend the knee, and circle the left hip out to the left and then up. Instead of squaring the hips, let your pelvis follow your knee out to the side and up. Try to keep that position in the pelvis. And then lift the knee and pause. Try going on to the tips of your left fingers, strong in the right side of the core, or wild thing, opening up. Back to down dog. Inhale, lift the leg again. Knee towards the right arm, exhale, twisting, straighten that leg. Fallen triangle, right arm up, stack the shoulders, strong in the left side of the core. Option 2, lifting and lowering the left leg, awakening inner thigh. That connection that goes from the foot to the inner leg to the floor of the core and the pelvis. Remember the image of the candle flame. And then back to down dog. You can move through a vinyasa or walk it out. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale from the core, downward facing dog. Lower your knees to the ground slowly. Sit back onto your heels for a toe squat. Gently press the backs of the hands into each other, circling the wrists. And then interlace the fingers. So thumbs up, little fingers out. Draw the elbows in close to your head. And then press the elbows up, lifting your heart. And this is the key pattern for a forearm stand or a headstand. Even though the hands are apart in forearm stand, we can still train it in this position. So notice there's a tendency for the elbows to wing out. We want to keep those elbows in and then press up. So maybe you feel a little bit of a back bend. That's a good first sign. Now try to keep the heart lifted and think about lifting the pubic bone, connecting with that Apana energy. So even though it looks like a back bend, and it is a back bend, there's still an intention to drop the tail. So now I'm not doing it, now I'm doing it. Can you see the difference? Not really. It's very subtle. And that's the idea, elbows in. So I'll show you the next progression now. Just watch, because it's you may not have seen this one before. I'm going to interlace the fingers. My head is actually off the ground. I start with my legs set up like a table pose, and then knees up. Watch what I do with my knees. I'm going to turn out from the hip joint, knees out. Spread the shoulder blades. That's the main action. And then I'm going to exhale to press my hips back with core strength. So that's where my back bend comes in. Keep the core, and then inhale forward. So go ahead and do that 10 times. Take rest when you need it. If you have more power, hold it for a while after. Cool. So elbows in. Lift the head. Lift your knees and turn out from the hip joint so your knees go wide. As you exhale, push back. Engage through the core of the body. Bend the knees even more. Inhale forward. Keep the core. Shoulders over elbows or beyond. Exhale, knees wide, hips back. And keep on going. This is also training your connection to your hip flexors while you keep the core, which is the Prana pattern of hip flexion and the Apana of the exhale, the core strength. If this feels really hard, you're doing it perfectly. Remember to keep those elbows in. They tend to run away. I'm seeing some of you are losing your elbows a little bit. So keep those elbows in nice and close to the head. Yeah.
My favorite yoga teacher speaks in riddles, so you never know when he's talking to you. Just when you think he's not talking to you, he's talking to you. Awesome. So when you're done, you can chill out, rest for a bit, take a moment to feel the residue. That's really good. Sweet. And so I'll show the next stage. In this next one, the head is actually placed on the floor. Same principles. We're mostly working with the shoulder. There's barely any weight in the head. So proceed at your own risk. Feel free to stay in the previous one. Looks something like this. Placing the head behind hands, I'm going to push through the forearms. I'm trying to find this pattern in my body. I'm going to find it by keeping my forearms down, walking the feet in, and then lifting the buttocks, rocking onto tiptoes. Next step, left thigh to belly. I'm going to keep the knee bent, drawing the thigh bone into the ribs. Instead of doing this, so you want to draw that thigh bone to belly. That's going to help us stay connected to the hips and the core. And then eventually hop the other leg up, and then you're in a headstand. Okay, so walk the feet in, knees out, maybe lift one foot, thigh bone to the outside of the belly. You can just alternate like that. Maybe you get a little hop, rocking onto the tip of the other toe, maybe both legs up. And this is just going to give you a lot more control over the position, whereas straightening the legs takes quite a bit more strength, even though it involves the same angles. So work with the knee bent. Have some fun. So placing the head behind the hands, think of the head taking no weight at first. Keep it all in the arms. It's just going to look like a headstand, but it's really about using the shoulders. And then explore, lifting the knees up. You can try bringing your right thigh to the right side of the belly, and then rocking onto the tip of the left toe, going forward and back. Really good stuff. Working one leg at a time, try left thigh to belly, rocking on the tip of right toe. And if you've learned a headstand elsewhere, feel free to go for it. Otherwise, play it safe. Take rest whenever you need it. If you like to play around some more, go for it. Imagine that sense of lengthening out through the crown of the head. Getting long through the crown. And then we'll all meet in child's pose, sitting back towards the heels. Very good. And that's one of those things to just build up over time. I didn't do a headstand until I was like 10 years into yoga. It's one of those things that just freaked me out. But once you get a feel for it, it's actually a really relaxing posture. And then move through a vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, laying onto the belly. Full cobra. Bend your knees with the heels together, hands on the floor. Inhale to lift your shoulders away from the floor. Try to lift your knees and breathe. We'll take 5 breaths here, just holding still. Option 2 is a bit more challenging. Press the left shoulder forward and then the right. Legs are like the snake's tail, so we keep the heels together, back of the legs strong. And then next exhale, come all the way down, bow pose, keeping the heels together, knees wide. Modification is lifting the arms. It's a great active way to do it. Try to lift your knees. Option 2, exhale, catch the outer feet. Once you catch, you can bring your knees in a little closer and then kick back, attempting to lift the knees. And breathe. And exhale, come down. Hands under shoulders, press back onto your heels. Anahatasana, heart-opening posture. So you can walk the arms further forward, inviting a bit more of a back bend. Bowing the forehead to the floor, or for more of a back bend, lift the chin, resting the chin on the floor. And breathe. Exhale from the core, bringing the forehead down. Walk the hands back. And then we'll press up for Camel Pose, Utkatasana. So legs are parallel. This is an awesome posture to really work with the Apana energy of lifting the pubic bone, using your core, your hamstring muscles, and your glutes all together. So try to keep the legs parallel. We'll take the arms forward. As you exhale, lift the pubic bone and lean back a little bit. Work the legs. Inhale, rise up, inviting a back bend. Exhale, drop the tail, core strong. Inhale, rise up. 3 more to go. Notice how the whole body is working. Everything but the jaw and the forehead. I'm getting cramps in my feet. Jesus. So 1 more to go. And now for the movement into Camel Pose, you have options. So to reach the heels, we use that same tensioning, catch the feet, and then hold on as you relift the heart. So we're still engaging the core. It's very gentle, just enough to make the lower back feel good. Option 2 is keeping the hands by the hips. Loop the shoulders up and back, and then keep the core on. 5 more breaths. You're welcome to release the head back, just like the top of the wave. Shoulders up. Lift the shoulders to the ears so they can support your head. And then use the core, lift the pubic bone to come up. And then we'll bring the legs out in front, sit back. Take the hands about half a foot behind you. Extra challenge, legs straight, feet together. Modification is a lot more accessible around the shoulder with the feet hip width. Inhale, lift up, engage between shoulder blades, and breathe, holding the posture. You're welcome to release the head back again. This is called intense stretch to the east. Not much of a stretch, is it? Purvottanasana. With core awareness, exhale down. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, scoop the tail under, tuck the chin, and lay down slowly, using the core to slow the movement. And then prepare for bridge pose. Bend the knees with the feet about hip width, a few inches in front of the sit bones, the buttocks. On a long inhale, lift the arms over your head towards the back of the mat. Long exhale, lift the hips, scoop the tail forward. Inhale, slowly lower your arms. Exhale, lower through the vertebra. Nice and slow. Inhale, lift the arms, honoring the natural curve of the low back. On your exhale, scoop the tail forward, just like you did when entering camel, contracting the abdomen. Inhale, lower the arms down. Exhale, lower the spine. And again, inhale, lift the arms. If you're comfortable with wheel, you can bend the elbows. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, lift the hips in either posture. Full wheel, hold the pose. For those of you in bridge, bring your arms underneath your back. Interlace fingers, squeezing shoulder blades, and hold. Or you can hold on to the outer edges of the mat. If you prefer to keep doing the Vinyasa movement, feel free. So for those of us in wheel, I'll give you different instruction now. Exhale, bend your knees more. Bring the top of the head to the floor, the crown. Pause. And walk your hands towards your feet one at a time. Elbows in. Inhale, press up again. Same principles as headstand. And breathe. If you've walked the hands in, you can play with bending your knees a bit more. Keep the feet still. And then push off your heels to straighten the legs a bit more, sending the heart over the hands. playing with the position, opening the heart. And then exhale, tuck the chin, come all the way down onto your back, vertebra by vertebra. And then draw your knees in towards your shoulders. Take a moment to feel the residue. You can honor the natural curve of your lower back. And then hold behind your knees, engage your core, and explore rocking forward and back along the length of the spine. And then we'll meet in a squatting position. So from the squat, you can take the knees out, arms forward, take a breath in. And then exhale, forearms can rest down, bow the head down, letting your whole spine passively round forward. Breathe deep into your back. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, bring the hands just a little bit in front of your feet. Crow pose, Bakasana. One of the better counter poses for back bending. Lift your heels round your back. Push the hands towards each other, spreading shoulder blades. And try lifting one or both feet. 5 breaths. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the elbows. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, come through a seated position. And you have options. You can place your right ankle over your left thigh. It's a modified fire log position. Lifting the heart, press the right thigh forward. If fire log is comfortable, you can stack the shins instead. Take an inhalation to lift the heart. You could stay there. Or exhale to bring the forearms forward if you're stacking. And breathe. Very similar to pigeon. If it feels kind of gnarly, you may have to wiggle your right foot a little more over to the right so it finds its way on top of the knee joint or even closer to the shin. It'll be a little different for everybody since we all have different proportions of upper and lower leg bones. Main thing is that your knee joint's happy or content. If knees could speak, what would they say? I need you. Inhale, lift the heart. Let's all meet in that first position, right ankle over left thigh. Half Lord of the Fishes. Exhale, right foot to the floor. Drawing the right thigh bone in towards the belly. Twist looking over your right shoulder. Your left hand can be holding the outer thigh. If you'd like to do a bound arm variation, you could slip the whole arm outside of the leg, hand to buttock, or threading through the knee is an option. Turning the right chest open while aiming the right buttock down. Breathe into your back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take hold of the right foot with both hands. Lift your heart to a straight spine. And then see how much you can straighten that right leg. You could hold the foot with your left hand, a strap, or use both hands if you're quite loose, binding the left wrist. Lift the heart as much as you can. Scoop in the low belly. Again, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bend the right knee, squatting into that right foot, take the hands forward. Try to pick up your right foot and round your back, just like a crow. From there, you can push into your left toes to lift your hips higher, maybe lift the left leg. And then we'll take the legs back through the Vinyasa. 2 dog poses, and then meet in sitting. Place the left ankle over the right thigh, or move into fire log with the left shin on top. And we'll take about 5 breaths there. Try intending the left thigh bone forward towards the floor in this variation while lifting the heart. And then inhale, lift the chest. We'll meet in that first position, left ankle over right thigh. Exhale, left foot to the floor. Half Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take an inhale to hold the left knee, lift the heart. And then exhale, twist left fingers behind you. There's also the option to explore binding. Bringing that right arm outside the leg, hand towards the hip, or thread underneath the knee. Try to maintain a connection to the core, the Apana energy. And turn the chest open. These are really great counter poses to back bending as well. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lean back. Take hold of that left foot with your right hand or a strap, or take hold of the right wrist if you're able to bind. Inhale, lift the heart, straighten the leg as much as you can once the back is straight. And breathe. Think of drawing in the low belly, lifting the heart, and letting the shoulder blades spread out wide. So instead of pulling back with the shoulder blades, let them spread. Lift your heart as much as you can. Maybe you feel a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Again, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bend the left leg like a squat, leaning into that foot to reach forwards, and take a vinyasa. Maybe you're doing the half crow, picking up the left foot, pushing off the right toes to round the back. Maybe you're lifting the right leg, bending the arms. That one's harder than it looks, but it does have progression to it, which is nice. So let's all meet back in a seated position. And then bringing your legs out in front, take a long breath in. And then exhale, point the toes, lay down slowly with core strength. And make your way into resting Shavasana. Softening the shoulders down the back, scoop the tailbone towards the heels. And completely let go of the body. Relax the jaw. Relax the back of the throat. Completely releasing all tension in the mouth. Completely relax the belly. And just imagine that subtle energy rising up through the inhale, as if you could breathe up the spine, right through the heart. And then release all energy on the exhale. Release all technique. I welcome you to continue resting on your mat a little longer, especially for the folks at home. Thank you so much for joining today. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Peace, everyone.